Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hakim bin ABDUL Malik, metric number 2122377. Inshallah, today's presentation is about Yahiya Emerick's book named The Holy Quran, as if you were there. Now, a little bit of background about Yahiya Emerick. He was born in the United States of America in the year 1969, and he was actually not born as a Muslim. He was born and raised in a Catholic family as a Catholic, and later on when he was studying, then he embraced Islam as a student. Now, since the day he embraced Islam, he actively spread the message of Islam, mainly through his writings and also literary works. And the Holy Quran, as if you were there, is one of the most prominent books, I would say, from him. So this book is written in the preface of the book. The reason why Yahiya Emerick decided to write this book is to guide people in order to understand the Quran, not just through reading, but also giving the meaning of the verses, as well as the Asbabun Nuzul, as well as some of hadith to back the Asbabun Nuzul, and also a guide for us to incorporate Quranic teachings in our daily life. So, of course, the Quran is a revelation sent to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for a period of around 23 years, as a continuation of the previous books, Torah and Injil. So, the previous books, Torah and Injil, have been tainted by the hands of humans. So, Quran is revealed in order to give us the correct path. Now, the Holy Quran is revealed in highly poetic and beautiful language. And this will be our main theme of our discussion. And the level of beauty the Quran holds is that if you translate to any other language, for example in English or etc., it will not be the same. It will not attain the same level of charm to what the Quran has. But before we delve further into that, what I find unique about this book is it didn't really have any introduction other than a preface. So what I would presume is the reason why he did this is because the Quran already has an introduction, which is Surah Al-Fatiha, literally meaning the opening, from the word Fath, or maybe Miftah, like key. So this is already an opening to the Quran, which will be discussed by Yahiya Emerick. So the Surah Al-Fatiha, of course, is the opening, and this chapter offers so many knowledge that a lot of people said that if the entire Quran were lost and only this chapter remain, it would be sufficient for the guidance of humanity. And according to Yahiya Emerick, and I quote, he said, Surah Al-Fatiha follows good essay writing format, where the introduction includes a condensed summary of the whole message. Just like when we write essays, of course we have introduction, contents, and also conclusion. So the introduction needs to have a condensed summary, or basically just a little bit of information about the message that we are going to present in the content. So Al-Fatiha has that, right? Okay, that's for Al-Fatiha. And right after Al-Fatiha, we are presented to the unique use of Alif Lam Mim, which is quite strange for the Arab people at that time, because it is rarely done, or maybe never been done by the Arabic poets. And this shows that it has to be a divine work of art. Maybe it shows that God, right? God is speaking this and not human. So the use of Alif Lam Mim or Yasin, Tasin Mim, etc. So a lot of scholars have different opinions on what are the meanings of this usage of words. So some of them maybe suggested that it is hidden code letters. Some of them said that it is numerically based messages. But Yahiya Emerick, in his book, he prefers to believe that the use of the letters means that the chapter is directed towards the Arabs, as their own letters are being used to convey said messages. And this claim is supported by Ibn Kathir, Zamakhshari, and also Ibn Taymiyyah. So during the revelation of Quran, we know that the Arabs are proud of their language. They are proud of their poetry and also the beauty of the language itself. So Quran is revealed in the same era, and it is superior than their own language. So it's like Allah saying, now here is your ABCs. Now go write something that even close to the level of Quran. And this can be seen in Surah verse 23 to 24. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَى عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ وَادْعُوا شُهَدَاءَكُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ فَإِن لَّمْ تَفْعَلُوا وَلَن تَفْعَلُوا فَاتَّقُوا النَّارَ الَّتِي وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْكَافِرِينَ. What I would like to highlight is produce a surah like Taraf and call upon your witnesses other than Allah, if you should be truthful. But if you do not, and you will never be able to, then fear the fire, whose fuel is men and stones, prepared for the disbelievers. So it is seen and it is proven that it is impossible for us humans to replicate the beauty of language in the Al-Quran. So previously, some of the disbelievers actually they have tried to replicate the beauty of Al-Quran through the language. However, it is not as beautiful. Like for example, they have created, I think, Al-Fil, Wal-Fil, Wa Ma Adraka Ma-Fil, or something like that. So it's just talking about elephant. So it doesn't really have any impactful meaning, and also its language is not as beautiful as the language in the Quran. And I can give you one more example of where the Quran is really beautiful in the same surah. So it is a verse that is very famous, which is the Ayatul Kursi, where Allah used Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. Now usually we use la ilaha illallah al hayyul qayyum, and la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wala nawm. And I think this is very fascinating because neither drowsiness nor sleep overtakes him. So usually we would say that Allah never feels drowsy or never need to sleep, something like that. But then in this ayat, he said that neither drowsiness nor sleep overtakes him, which is for me, I believe it is very beautiful. I have previous background in Arabic. I learned a bit of Balaghah, and if you see the use of the Arab language in the Quran, I don't know how to describe, but it's really beautiful. And I skip a few parts, but Allah also mentioned يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم, which means He fully knows what is ahead of them and what is behind of them. Now, the use of بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ literally means between their two hands. So, but in this context, Allah used it to mean ahead of them, meaning the future. And وَمَا خَلْفَهُم, which if we translate it literally, it means at the back of them, or maybe in this context in their past. And after that, Allah mentioned وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنْ عِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ, but no one can grasp any of His knowledge except what He wills to reveal. Now, this particular verse, I would say it's very beautiful. I don't know how to describe it in English, but in the Arabic phrase, for me, I get the message that Allah is the most powerful being, that we are, I would say, we are little and we are insignificant, and we cannot attain the all-powerfulness and the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which goes back to what I said earlier. The language of the Quran cannot be replicated by any human being or any creations at all. And this is just in the first two surahs. So now I will go to the last one, I believe, which is Surah Al-Ikhlas, a surah in the conclusion part of the Quran, or maybe I would say the third last surah in the Holy Book. So this surah, Al-Ikhlas, or it is also known by many names, this surah was revealed in response to a group of Jews. They asked a lot of questions to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For example, is the God a man or a woman? Does he eat or does he not? So these questions were asked to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for them to get to know whether Islam is the correct revelation or not. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he waited for a few days before he received the revelation, and after he received the revelation, he asked them to gather, and he said that he will recite 1/3 of the Quran. So many of them, also the Sahaba, would think that he would recite the long 1/3, literally 1/3 of the Quran, which at that time is not fully revealed yet, but still it's quite long. However, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam only read to them 4 verses. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahus samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. And these 4 verses are the same as 1/3 of the Quran. So imagine if someone told you, okay, make a summary of your 3,000 word essay only to 4 sentences only. And I believe it is impossible for us human beings to attain that level. And this shows that we are not equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as also mentioned in this surah, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, and there is no equal to him. And this surah is the perfect response to the questions by the Jews. So in conclusion, the poetic nature of the Quran is so beautiful that we humans, not even the Arabs that use the same language, they cannot replicate the same level of language used in the Quran. And we as Muslims, we should be proud that our holy book is indeed a revelation by God himself. And it is a shame as Muslims to disregard Al-Quran, to leave Quran for a long period of time, and we do not read it, when in fact it is revealed to us. And I believe that Yahiya Emerick explained the Holy Quran in detail, and it is very well written, as it includes also the supporting hadiths, the meaning, the Asbabun Nuzul, etc. So this book, I believe, is indeed a perfect guide for us to get close to the Quran. And that is all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.